Women initiate most of the divorces, and it's a big problem because men will continue to avoid commitment to protect themselves. Keep in mind that men are the one who initiate the relationship. Men are the one who ask for a date. They're the one who ask for marriage. And women are the one to initiate the breakup or the divorce most of the time. So then men are left to think, well, what's the point of me putting the effort into starting the whole relationship if she's not going to stay? So they're checked out. And it makes sense because if the role were reversed and men were the one initiating divorce 70% of the time, women would not want to get married either. And recently I've been asking myself, how did we get here? Then I remember the first and the most obvious reason is modern day feminism. They stopped caring about equality and they got too hungry for more power, for more control. That's why there's no balance between men and women right now. Well, it's one of the issues. There are more to come. But it's much worse now because the backbone of society, which is the family unit, is falling apart due to the fact that women are pretty much immune to any responsibility or accountability, which I think is one of the biggest reasons why men just seems to be tired to hear women complain.
You know, I'm very jealous and bitter that when a man finds any ounce of mainstream success in comedy, they get to date models, actresses, and pop singers.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
See, the lack of accountability and responsibility on the feminist side has caused too many divorces, too many breakups, too many single mothers, too many single fathers, and too many depressed middle-aged people, mostly unmarried and childless women. And because feminism has taught so many women to be narcissistic and entitled, many men have just decided to leave and not get involved. Now, personally, I think it's not the best solution, especially if men want to be seen as leaders. I think to just leave and not get involved is not a great sign of a leader. But I'm not stupid. I understand the logic, and I think it's a very reasonable solution to the problem, especially if the person with whom you're trying to negotiate and discuss and maybe have a discord with is not willing to learn, is not willing to understand, is not willing to compromise.
Why do you think it is that so much of what you say is so very popular with the alt-right?
It isn't. And you don't have any evidence for that at all. More than the evidence that alt-right people watch this show.
Neo-Nazi. Yeah.
Well, this is absolute nonsense, and I don't appeal primarily to the alt-right. There's no evidence for that at all. It's the proclivity of.
I never said primarily. Looking at the Kathy Newman.
Hey, lady, shut up!
And generally speaking, most men don't want to be used for child support or alimony because we know that some women will abuse the system. Because of that possibility, many men just don't want to bother anymore. But this is another part of the problem. The laws and the family court, who are very obviously leaning more in favor of women, are creating a bit of like a tension between men and women. And I think recently it's been changing. More women are actually paying more child support, they're paying more alimony, obviously because they make more, so they kind of have to. So it shows that there is a bit of equality, like there's a bit more shift towards equality, but it's not quite equal yet. It's still a major problem and men don't want to deal with it.
So women are more and more becoming the breadwinners in their families, and yet the family court system doesn't seem to have noticed that. Alimony payments are still doled out like it's, 1953. What this means is that a woman, this is what can happen. A woman can marry a man, leave him for any reason she wants, even after cheating on him, and still take half the assets and be awarded with an allowance from her ex-husband in perpetuity. It's not only outrageously unjust, but it also purposefully disincentivizes marital fidelity while incentivizing disloyalty and infidelity and divorce.
Then again, even if we're starting to see the shift toward more equality in terms of the laws and everything else, the damage has already been done. Another reason why women initiate most of the divorce is something nobody wants to talk about, and it's a two-sided issue. The first thing is that men and women are rarely making an effort to understand each other. The way I see it, Redpill and feminism are supposed to be the advocate for each genders, but both of them are led by people who are toxic, narcissistic, sometimes damn right stupid, and these people are not even trying to give the listener a sustainable solution to the problem. The worst part is they don't even try to listen to the other side and try to come to an understanding.
Do you know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people?
Mm-hmm.
Mothers? Women?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers, but if you'd like to call them that.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
What people other than mothers are pregnant?
Does it bother you to use inclusive language?
What are you
Stupid!
And in turn, I think they're influencing both gender to be more egotistical and self-centered. Most of the time when we break up or get a divorce, it's because we don't know how to check ourselves, or we don't even know how to do some introspection. I think a lot of people don't even know what that word means. We abuse each other emotionally and physically. We cheat on each other even though we say I love you all the time. And we leave people who love us and people that we claim we love because of very superficial and self-centered reasons. And as if that's not even bad already, we keep consuming too much feminism and red pill garbage.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
There's no YouTube channels out there teaching girls how to be better girlfriends or better wives. There might be one or two, but in general, women don't give a Why don't they give a They don't have to give a They have the privilege of not having to know what men actually want to get men. But men, on the other hand, have to know what women want in order to get women.
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
Which in turn is making us not only not trust each other, but also making us very bitter towards each other. And I speak from experience. I'm guilty of this myself. If you watch my previous video, I fully admitted that, listen, I was pretty deep into Redpill and it wasn't even that long ago, but I changed. The other side of this two-sided issue is that we are having a hard time trying to understand each other because of all the noise. So on one side, we're not even trying to understand each other, but on the other side, when we try to understand each other, we're constantly being influenced and brainwashed by companies and content creators who keep asking us for money and attention 24/7. And we're very guilty of letting this thing happen to us. Let's be honest here. We will need to take accountability for letting something like this happen. Yes, they play a part, but in the end, we're the one who allow it to happen. We're not children, we're adults. All of these reasons are why our relationship and our marriage keep falling apart. But by far, the two biggest reasons that contributes to the inequality in marriage and relationship, the first one is because men are taught from a very early age to tough it out. Sometimes the relationship might not even be going well, but most men will stay. That's the one mentality that actually keeps a lot of men in that relationship. Listen, I gotta tough it out. That's my wife, that's my girlfriend. Things might not be going well right now, but I have to tough it out. I have to figure this out. Deeply, truly, a lot of men do want to figure it out. And I think they could figure it out. The only issue is men are not taught how to deal with their emotion in a healthy way. Because as a man, showing too much emotion is weak. That's called being a not showing enough emotion is strong. That's called sometimes stoicism. And I think what men truly need when it comes to this issue is a balance between both. The second reason that's contributing to the inequality between men and women is that the government and companies tend to support women more. They tend to pretty much pander to women more. And that's been very obvious for a very long time now.
Oh, we're dancing.
What the f is this piece of shit?
But also keep in mind that men, generally speaking, give more attention to women than women give attention to men. Now, the worst part of this inequality issue is that there are a lot, and I mean a lot of weak men out there who would pander to toxic and entitled women. And for those men, that's the only way they can feel, in a way, acknowledged or noticed by a woman. And that's one of the reasons why OnlyFans and thought streaming exists. Some men are just weak and stupid, and there's not much we can do about it. All that being said, I'm sure if the role were reversed, let's just be honest, if men were the one getting most of the attention, most of the support, and women were the one who were taught to tough it out, and they were never really taught how to deal with their emotion, in that parallel universe, I am 100% sure that men will be the one to initiate most of the divorces. So if you're a man who still cares and still want to build a family and maybe even want to get married, what should you do? I think the first thing you should do is stop letting your bottom head influence you so much. You know what I mean. Too many times we get into a relationship because she looks good and we don't take the time to ask questions and learn more about the person before we get serious. We should be asking her a lot of questions about her past and what she wants in the future, but we should be asking ourselves a lot of questions as well. Without the sex and the looks, do I see myself with this person? There are certain women you should be careful around. Women who reject traditional values. Personally, these are the type of women I don't deal with. Women who have too many sexual partners. More than 6 sexual partners is a big problem. That's if you're willing to even find out, or if she's willing to have this conversation. A lot of people think it doesn't matter. To those people, I wish you luck. You're going to need it. Seriously. The other type of woman you might want to be careful around, women will expect you to pay for everything and don't even bother acting traditional. Even worse, they don't even contribute much to the relationship. I would say, listen, take a look at her place. Take a look at how she lives, how she runs her life, because that's extremely important. How does she talk to other people? People who she loves, people who she hates, how does she treats people on the street, how does she treats her friends, how does she treats anybody and everybody. But what's extremely important, how she treats the men in her life is exactly how she's going to treat you. So be aware of that. How does she react when you guys disagree on something? Is she calm and respectful, or does she become disrespectful and stubborn? What are her parents like? Are they divorced? Does she have a good relationship with her mom and her father? If not, then I would advise you to proceed with caution. All that being said, the idea that women initiate most of the divorce is a multifaceted problem. If you're already in a relationship or marriage that's going well, I'm happy for you. Seriously. And I mean that because it seems that that's a rare thing right now. Even though I don't think it is, people who are not on the internet actually pretty much live a decent life. A lot of family who are not living perpetually on the internet tend to have a very good life. And I think if you're planning to get married, or if you're maybe planning to get into a relationship, then don't be afraid. Learn how to choose carefully. Don't let your sexual desire dictate how you choose your girlfriend or your wife. Remember that looks fade. I would say don't let the toxicity of red pill and feminism stop you from finding a good partner. Because I can understand that a lot of these content that you're consuming, it does instill some fear and doubt and lack of trust towards the opposite gender. I want you to know that honestly, these people are miserable and they're very bitter. And the reason why it seems like they're okay is because they can cope due to the financial success that they have, due to the fact that you're supporting them financially. And you might be saying, well, you know, I don't even give them money. I don't even do anything. I don't even donate anything to them. Well, at the end of the day, you're still watching their content. You're giving them views, you're giving them attention. And in this day and age, attention and views is the new currency. That's the reason why these people are more wealthy than you, but yet they keep giving you terrible advice that's going to keep you unhappy. Do a lot of introspection. That's the best thing I can ask you to do. Look within you, look at your own flaws, look at your own mistakes. Read a lot of books on relationships. I think men, we really don't do a lot of homeworks when it comes to relationship and marriage, and women in general. And listen, I think women don't do their homework either. Read a lot of books on social skills and psychology. And remember that the most important thing is a good relationship or good marriage, it is not given, it's earned. Truly, it's earned through hard work, through a whole lot of effort. And I wish that for all of you.